Hi, I'm Dan from Computer Services. I'm going to make another shape here, a rounded rectangle, and I want that rounded rectangle to be 2 inches wide by 1/2 inch tall, 0.5. There we are. I'm going to click the ellipse tool and I'm going to constrain to make a circle, and I want that circle to be 1/2 inch wide by 1/2 inch tall. Now, what I'm going to do is take this circle and this rounded rectangle. You can see there's a little guide here. When you're pushing stuff around, you can see it gives you an idea of like here's centered on the canvas. Here's right at the top of these shapes. You can see these guides really help you get accurate positioning of your shapes. But I'm going to use another tool here. I'm going to click and drag to select both of those shapes, and then I'm going to use the vertical tool here to align those together. I'm going to select that circle, and I'm just going to use my arrow keys to nudge that to the right. If I use the zoom tool up here to the top, I'm going to zoom in, push my canvas around, and I can see I've got a really smooth connection between the circle and the rounded rectangle here. That's what I'm looking for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them again. I'm going to go up here to the union button. I'm going to create one shape out of them. So what I've done here is I've taken two basic shapes and created a more complex shape. Let me zoom back out. I'm going to move that to the bottom. I've decided I'm going to shrink this rectangle down a little bit here, because now I want to make a big egg shape. We'll say about that size. And now I'm going to take this rectangle. I want to center those two. I'm going to select them both, and then I'm going to use the divide button up here on the top. What that does is it divides my shape into several other shapes. I'm just going to click this one, delete, click this, delete, and now we're left with this shape. There's another shape editing tool over here, this little circle with the paths. When I click that, it changes that solid shape into a selection of paths and points. Let me show you what we can do here. If I click this point, I can stretch it up and change the shape. I can do all kinds of really unusual shapes, super accurate, but I can really modify this shape in weird ways. I'm going to use my undo command to change some of that back. Now I'm going to go to the convex tool, and I'm going to constrain the polygon to this shape. I'm going to place it right here, center it. That looks pretty good. I'm going to select those two shapes again. I'm going to hit divide again. Again, I'm taking these basic shapes and making more complex shapes out of them. I'm going to click that shape again, hit the edit tool, and I'm just going to take my selection tool and drag from the upper left to the lower right, and I'm selecting only these points. I'm going to leave these points down here alone, and I'm going to grab them, I'm going to drag them all up a little more. Alright, I'm going to double click this point at the top to remove that curve. I'll do that on this side as well. We have a curvy shape at the bottom, but it ends up as a nice little angled shape at the top. So back to my selection tool. I'm going to take these two shapes, pull them together like that, and then select them both again and make an even more complex shape. There we